City of St. Mary's council meeting for April 5th, and we'll be starting in 2 minutes, 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Was there a cost to getting this show? Just want to ask, because there's been quite a few one-liners this evening.
Yeah, well, there's no restrictions for whoever wants to participate. So
Okay.
I know you're not bashful, so.
I keep waiting for the wrestling coach to chime in on some of our health food issues.
Oh.
No? Okay.
I have no room to talk.
Must be the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous out. Bluebirds are in a little house over there. I think we got little babies in there. So it's my first time.
They're buzzards, John. Keep moving.
Say it again. All right, I'll check with you later, see what you said. I do have my ears.
He said you were raising buzzards.
Oh, well, they may be. They're masked.
Artie, you and I need to talk.
Can't do it.
Mm. All right. It is 6 o'clock, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the City of St. Mary's City Council meeting for April 5th, 2021. And we have the invocation from our council member, Lisa James. Ms. James?
Thank you. Would you please all bow your heads as we pray? Dear wise and loving Father, first I want to thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill all of our callings, for the sustenance and for the friendships. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing our appropriate responsibilities. Thank you also for the freedom to embrace you or the freedom not. Thank you for your loving, even so, your boundless and gracious nature. Father, I also would ask that you would graciously grant us the wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times. Give us a sense of welfare and true needs of our people, and give us a thirst for justice and righteousness as we go about our duties. Thank you, Father, for the ability to work together in harmony, even when there's sometimes disagreement. Thank you for the peace in our lives and those of our citizens. And I pray for the agenda set before them today. Give us an assurance of what you would please you and what would benefit those who we live and work to serve. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, man. Very beautiful. All right, our pledge of allegiance, and Mr. Riley, would you like to do the pledge today? Mr. Riley?
Sorry about that. I was paying attention and staying on mute when I'm not talking, so I'm on. I'd be honored to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, could we have a roll call?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Jones, post 1.
Here.
Councilmember Goodman, post 2.
Here.
Councilmember Gant, post 3.
Present.
Councilmember Riley, post 4.
Present.
Councilmember Rassi, post 5.
Present.
Councilmember James, post 6. Councilmember James?
Here, sorry.
I can see you. Okay. Mayor
I'm
Morrissey?
here.
Here. All right, thank you, ma'am.
So we have a quorum.
All right, council, we have two sets of minutes, and I am not sure, I think we were all present at the last meeting.
Yes.
So.
Mayor Morrissey, we haven't, oh, can you hear me okay, sir?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, the executive session minutes will be, we'll have that at the next meeting from the attorney.
All right, so we're gonna hold on that one.
Yes.
All right, so council, I need a motion for the March 15th, 2021 regular city council meeting minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved, Alan Rassey.
Yeah. all right.
Second, Marty
Mr.
Jones.
Mr. Jones, all right. Any discussions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Or abstained? All right, Madam Clerk, would you mark that as unanimous, please? Thank you very much, council.
Yes.
All right, so we have some really great things to talk about today. The first is I'd like to recognize a very generous gift from former Mayor Deborah Hayes. Many of you may remember seeing a very large portrait of the cemetery at in St. Mary's, the Angel, and I don't know when it was commissioned, but Mayor Hayes generously donated that portrait, and we have it in a place of honor now in the hallway as you come into the City Hall, and we will thank her appropriately with a recognition letter, etc. But I just wanted the public to understand that we will also put something on the portrait recognizing her gift. But she was very generous, and it made its way from Valdosta all the way here back to St. Mary's, and we're just very grateful to Mayor Hayes, and we wanted to thank her publicly. Thank you, Deborah. All right. Now the next is I have a proclamation relative to the Submarine Museum. And if you all can bear with me, this is a proclamation honoring the St. Mary's Submuseum in recognition of its 25th anniversary of the founding of the museum. And whereas the St. Mary's Submarine Museum officially opened and came into existence on the 30th of March, 1996, due to the incredible efforts of many dedicated citizens, military leadership, and advocates from the Kings Bay Naval Base, elected officials, and submarine veterans and active duty submariners alike. Today, we rise in observance and celebration of this important milestone. And whereas we remember with fondness, respect, and appreciation, Medal of Honor recipient, the late Rear Admiral Eugene B. Fluckey, commanding officer of the World War submarine USS Barb, SS-220, who served our nation in the Navy for 37 years and was the official commissioning speaker on the 30th of March, 1996, when the museum was dedicated and officially opened to the public. And whereas we also remember the late retired Master Chief John Krause, who passed away unexpectedly in September 2010 and served as the first museum manager who for more than 15 years poured his heart and soul into the building up of the museum and its vast collection, membership, and visitation, and who worked tirelessly to honor the thousands of submariners who have served our nation in the process, most especially our World War II submarine veterans. And whereas former St. Mary's City Councilman and Navy retired Senior Chief Keith Post took the reins of the museum upon the tragic loss of John Krause, and has for more than a decade continued the legacy that John Krause and so many others began building up the museum, creating new community and military partnerships and expanding displays and involvement of the community and the Navy base. And also most recently facilitated the Submarine Museum becoming the 10th member of the new Georgia World War II Heritage Trail that kicked off in February of 2021. So Now, therefore, we do hereby proudly honor and pay tribute to the St. Mary's Submarine Museum on the occasion of the celebration of 25 years of community service. And it is indeed a gem on our waterfront. And we are thankful to everyone and the board that works so hard, its leadership and its director. Thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to turn the meeting over to our council member, Alan Rassi, who has some introductions to do. And we have a proclamation. And Alan, if you would, thank you. Can't hear.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I would like to introduce head wrestling coach Jess Wilder from Camden County High School. And he's with us tonight for a proclamation by the City of St. Mary's, Georgia, honoring the 2021 Camden County High School Wildcat Wrestling Team. A proclamation by the City of St. Mary's recognizes the incredible and outstanding accomplishments of our 2021 Camden County Wildcat Wrestling Team. Whereas today, on behalf of all citizens of St. Mary's, we recognize, celebrate, acknowledge the accomplishments of the 2021 Camden County High School Wildcat Wrestling Team. And whereas the Camden County Wildcat Wrestling Team has won 7 straight state championships in traditional titles and 8 in dual titles, with the first being in 2012. And whereas, with the leadership and guidance of the head coach, Jess Wilder, and the entire coaching and support staff, together with the unwavering support and encouragement of the Camden County High School administration, faculty, student body, as well as from the parents, members of our local Chamber of Commerce and business community, our men and women in uniform serving at Naval Submarine Base Kings Bay, as well as our citizens, our Wildcat Wrestling Team believe in the paw, accomplish their dreams together as one, achieving greatness both on and off the wrestling mat. And whereas this year, the Wildcats won the 7A crown with ease, having defeated Archer 65-3, Lowndes 69-3 in the quarterfinal and semifinals, respectively, followed by crushing defeat of West Forsyth 63-12 in the final. Now that's impressive, Coach.
Yeah.
Now, therefore, we do hereby proudly honor and pay tribute to the Camden County High School Wildcat Wrestling Team for their remarkable 2021 season and for all they have collectively accomplished together. Congratulations. It is witnessed
Congratulations, Coach. And thank you for being here with us. And if you have some remarks for us and the public, we'd welcome them. Thank you.
Just want to say thank you. Thank you for recognizing the kids. And thank you for what y'all do for the community.
All right. Well, and your expectations for next year are even higher, I take it.
Always to win.
All right. Okay. And you'll be working extra hard, sending those vibes out to Gonzaga tonight.
I don't watch basketball that much.
All right. I'm sorry,
But
folks.
since I have nothing to lose, I'll go for Gonzaga.
All right. I may have slipped up and I shouldn't have said anything, but so now somebody knows. All right. Good.
Hey,
Coach, we're so thankful for you attending here today and for what you do for those young people to, it's not only the wrestling, but it's a course of life and it's a direction of life that we're just in admiration of what you really instill in those people, those young people, to send them on a course that's probably life-changing. So thank you very much for what you do.
And that's absolutely way more important than the winning. Thank you.
Hey,
Okay.
Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, you had 4 seniors graduate this year, right?
Yes, sir. Well,
And
I
you
had more
got-
than that, but 4 starting
No.
seniors, yes.
4 starting seniors, and you've got a mother load of juniors coming back next year, right?
We do.
And it's
Good.
impressive.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Coach.
Thank you, Cal.
And anytime you want to have a civics lessons with any of those reps that you might like to attend a council meeting for a little while, or they can stay the whole time, but they're welcome to come and maybe observe for a while. We really encourage that if you want to.
Okay. All right, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Renzi, thank you for setting this up. And absolutely.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Rossi.
All right. We have now a board announcement for vacancies. We have the Downtown Development Authority, Mr. Gary Strait, and the Tree Board, Ms. Penny. And then we do have downtown appointments. And Madam Clerk, we have
Yes, sir.
the spreadsheet out here that you provided for us. I just want to find it. If I could. Here it is. Okay, Council, I'm going to ask you if, Madam Clerk, we need a choice of 2 out of the 3 candidates. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. There's 3 candidates and there are 2 seats on the DDA.
All right, so what I'd like to do is go down the roster and ask that each of the council people give me the 2 choices they would like for the Downtown Development Authority 2021. All right, so Mr. Jones?
Ms. Floyd and Mr. Landris.
Right, thank you. And Mr. Goodman?
Mr. Landreth and Mrs. Floyd.
Okay. And Mr. Gann?
Sorry about that. Terry Landrum and Ray Antonelli.
Okay. And Mr. Riley?
Yeah, my choices are Miss Floyd and Mr. Landreth.
All right. And Mr. Riley?
Miss Floyd and Mr. Landris.
And final would be Ms. James?
Floyd and Mr. Landreth.
All right, thank you. First of all, these are all excellent candidates. I want to thank them all for volunteering. Madam Clerk, if you would record that Ms. Phoebe Floyd and Mr. Terry Landreth received the votes. And
Yes, sir.
I do see that there is a position that we will probably vote on, and would we vote on that at the meeting on the 19th?
No, sir. Are you referencing the DDA vacancy? That would be we need a 30-day notice, so that would be the first meeting in May.
Okay, so those that are interested and those that applied previously, there is another position that's open, and it will be, what's the first meeting in May, ma'am? Do you know?
It is, I believe it is May, is that the 5th? It is May 3rd, sir.
May 3rd. Okay, thank you very much. And Council, thank you very much for good appointments to an important authority. Thank you. All right, now,
Mayor Morrissey, you may have getting ready to move to that. We just need a first and a second and a vote on that.
Thank you.
A motion.
Sorry. All right, now that we have voted, could I have a motion to?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Mr. Jones, a second from Mr. Was that Mr. Riley?
Yes.
All right. All right, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Madam Clerk, would you mark that as unanimous? Thank you for the reminder.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, Ms. Brown, my apologies. Are you there?
I am here, sir.
I did not introduce you before. All right, so we have a report on from our finance director, and Madam Clerk, or Ms. Brown, go ahead.
Yes, you have before you your February 28th to 21 financial report, which is the 8th month of our fiscal year, and was just wondering if y'all had any questions.
No, and I think this is always a difficult transition time, so I think we look forward to seeing the reports as they're coming out, and particularly the next 2 months. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for staff for what they're doing in the recent report. Excellent work. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Council, I'd like to set the consent agenda, if I may. And we have no old business, but we do have new business. And the first one is subdivision for 325 Gary Circle, Riley Square.
Consent.
Consent.
And
The next is a reverse subdivision for Haven Park it's sponsored by Mr. Hughes.
Consent.
consent.
And then we have a temporary sales solicitors, mobile food services and vendors permit fee.
Consent.
Consent.
Discussion.
All right, okay. All right, Council, can I have a motion for a consent agenda that consists of new business item A and new business item B?
So moved. Riley.
Mr. Riley, and a second from
Second,
Rassi.
James.
Mr. Rassi. Sorry. All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? All right, Madam Clerk, mark that as unanimous. And then I need a motion to approve the agenda as set.
So moved.
Yes, Ms. James, and a second from,
Riley, second.
all right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Madam Clerk, that's unanimous. All right.
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, we're moving to granting honors to the public. And do we have anyone that'd like to speak?
No, sir, I have no one on the first granting audience, sir, but I'm not sure if you all can hear. We do have someone that's not muted. There's a lot of static and background noise coming through.
All right. Okay, well, you heard it from the boss, folks. You can mute your phones until you have to speak. Or if the public is on, please, if you'd mute your phones. Thank you. All right, so we can move into the agenda, which is the temporary sales solicitors, mobile food services and vendors permit. And Mr. Jones, I think you had asked to discuss it. Why don't we discuss before we do any kind of a motion?
Okay, Mayor, I just had a 12 times 25 is 300. Am I right?
Recently, yes.
Okay. And $25 a month would be 300. I fail to understand why we would have to put extra burden on our staff to keep up with the month-to-month payment rather than just issuing a yearly statement.
All right, so Mr. Hughes is on, and can we defer to him to get the explanation, and then we can go back and forth to make sure it's clear. That work? Okay. Kenneth, are you on? Mr. Hughes? You're on mute.
My apologies.
That's right. So we just need a background and explanation of why the change has been implemented or would like to be implemented.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Jones, we present this to y'all because it's been requested by a couple of folks that we have some more flexibility within our permitting structure. So currently, even if you wanted to set up in the city of St. Mary's for one day, say there's a special event going on, you would have to pay the balance for the remainder of the year. So in this month, April, that would be $225, prorated for the first 3 months of the year being completed already. What this does is it provides an opportunity for them to test the waters by obtaining a permit for a single month. So they would be able to try it out, see how things are going, and then be able to decide what months down the road they may wish to obtain a permit for. I don't think it would be overly burdensome on our staff to implement this, and that's why I've requested this at this point.
Okay. Anybody with questions? Kenneth?
If I wanted to open up a grocery store or a childcare center and the fee was so much per year, I could test the waters also?
Not in the same sense, sir. Those involve state permits as well. Now, there are the one other major regulatory fee that we have are occupational taxes. Those are prorated at the second half of the year. So beginning in July, they are prorated, but there's not an option to pay a portion just for a little bit of time.
Well, I'm just concerned about vendors coming in from all different areas and creating havoc. If a business is serious about St. Mary's, I think that they should pay a fee and be done with it. I can understand some people might want to test the waters, but that's what businesses are all about. It's all or nothing.
So Kenneth, when I read the documents, it appeared that, so the community development feels that we might get more participation by this type of vendor if we had a more flexible fee schedule. Is that the idea?
Yes, sir. That's what we've heard from some businesses and some people interested.
All right. So the number of, I take it then the thinking is the number of food truck vendors might increase if we had more flexible schedule. And that means, to your point, if somebody wanted to come, so there's an interesting point. If somebody was coming in for the Rustapalooza, and I think, say it came in the middle of the year, and that's the only time they come here, they have to pay a half a year's fee for one day. And that was the point that you were trying to make?
Yes, sir. That's the present fee schedule.
Okay. All right. So I mean, it's an interesting dilemma that we attract more vendors, but at the same time, will they indeed come back? And then I'm not sure what the workload is. Mr. Horton, is there a method for the staff to be able to follow up? Are they going to have to get a permit each month they want to come? How will that work?
Yes, sir. Well, the way that Mr. Hughes has presented it, that would be the way it would work.
Each month that they would like to come in, they have to get a permit and pay $25.
Well, they have a choice. I mean, if they hit like the summer months and they want to be in St. Mary's, they would pay for the summer months.
So like 3 or 4 months at one time, and then they get a permit for 3 or 4 months.
That would be correct. Yes, sir.
All right. So
it does sound like it would be a lot of work to keep up with. All right, I think Artie's got a point. Come in and you pay $125 and you don't come back for 6 months and maybe come back again. for another $25. It seems a bit much. I don't know.
Yep. If I could, I just want to add some food for thought there, and I'm giving this as from the position of a business owner, and I think I know the background to what we're trying to do and how we're trying to, assist an up and coming business. And here's a thought, and this is just food for thought, things to think about. If I'm a business owner, and let's think about all the other business owners we have in town that they have to pay their whatever the fees are, whether it's a state fee or a city fee. We don't prorate it. So we have to think about what precedent we're setting here if we make this in making the decision. Secondly, I feel like a business has skin in the game. So I'm just saying, depending on how this, turns out, if I don't have any skin in the game, what is going to encourage me to come back the next month? If I pay for whatever the fee is, whether it's prorated or annual, I think I have a commitment to come back. I have a commitment to to promote the fact that I'm going to be there. And I look at it as first class versus coach. I mean, that's just whether you have skin in the game or not, and I understand what you're trying to do. I would just, say, think about the fact that what you want to attract, and, free attracts one thing, and, having the appropriate fees inside is going to attract that level of business owner that you want to be here.
So if I could, we have sometimes morphed this thought into something a little bit more flexible, but maybe not as flexible as originally proposed, and also given it a time for experiment. But I think wanting to attract business or new business in whatever form, it's always something that we struggle with and try and do. But if there's some thought to the flexibility, would probably maybe enhance the participation. What if we, instead of having it be set so that whenever you get the permit has to last till the end of the year, would we be amenable to doing something like you buy permit in 3-month blocks or 4-month blocks, so that it does give you maybe particularly if you do this in February, you pay $250, and you may or may not come back. But on the other hand, if it were in 3 or 4-month blocks, would it attract people? I'm not in favor of one or another. I'm just throwing it out to say, do we think about that as an alternative? And do you want to trial it, or do you want to, as Council Member James said, it's skin in the game, it's brick and mortar from the standpoint of what they have to do and what they've got to provide for their services and fees themselves. So, anybody else?
Riley here. I'd just like to make one, just a little follow-up on this. If I understand the situation, the primary people that would use this would be vendors that typically come in here for 1 or 2 days to one of these festivals or such as that. And I think also where this is probably growing out of is a temporary place that we put together up by the restaurant right up the street in the city, or the bar. And it would make sense to me that we might be able to attract more people if we were paying a monthly fee or some other periodicity based on what the council decides this evening. But it would also make sense that would benefit the city in the form of taxes and people coming to the city and visiting the city. And I think there's some benefit to that. And I understand brick and mortar, and we certainly don't want to make it any less than what they pay for the same fee. But the only thing we're doing different is scheduling the payment period more frequently. And I think if we think this is going to overburden the staff, we should ask our community development director what this is going to do to the staff, so we can make an informed decision on it based on what he sees every day out there versus what we think from what we see, which is not near what he sees. Riley, out.
I have a question for Mr. Rassi. What do they pay in the 4th of July and Rock Shrimp Festival?
That's the Kiwanis Club, and Robbie helped me out with this. The Kiwanis Club runs the festival, and each vendor can pay. The food vendor will pay up to $200 or more, depending on the size space they have, booth space they have. And then the craft vendors pay $120, I believe. And Chris and Junie Turner have that detail information on the vendor applications. I'll be honest, my thought on this is we've got a Cumberland Sound Music Festival coming up at the amphitheater on May 8th. And right now we have 2 vendors that have committed to being down there at the waterfront during the event between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. And I would hope that what I'm seeing is that because we need vendors down there, not vendors, food vendors down there. That's what we need, or food trucks. I think it's important for us to do what we can. And Ken, help me out on this. You're not talking about a whole lot of vendors, or food trucks, I should say, coming in that often to do this. It may grow into something bigger, but for right now, we don't have that many food trucks, do we?
That's correct, Mr. Rousey. There are presently 3 licensed vendors at this time.
So my thought process would be is that if we do the Cumberland, it'd be nice to have 5 or 6 food trucks there. That's what we're hoping for. And the high school, Camden County Chorus, and the band are going to be participating in this at the amphitheater. First time ever in Camden County High School history that we're having our amphitheater being used by the high school in this capacity. But I would hope that we could find a way to get some more food trucks down there. But I know that I've had several inquiries as to what the fees are, and I steer them toward the city. And, and I think this would be an advantageous possibility for us to be able to encourage more businesses or food trucks to come to an event, even if it's just once a month. But you're still paying a $25 fee. So, that's just my thought.
And to piggyback on what Mr. Rassi said, and to answer your question, Mr. Gant, the festivals that the city has sponsored or has been a co-sponsor in, we have waived those fees for those events, the Rock Shrimp, the 4th of July, Mardi Gras, and those events. Because we have been a co-sponsor of those over the years. So this is more the day-to-day operation type of thing.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Let's bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that we are still in a very, very difficult business environment, have been hammered for the last year, and we're still being hammered. And I see the proration of fees as a means of helping out the vendors who want to come into town, who've had to retool their businesses. And I don't think she'll mind me mentioning her by name as Dylan at Bessie's. And I think we should do everything we can to help them. We also have to remember that you don't have to look very far to the south of us to see a lot of brick and mortar restaurants that have closed down completely, and a lot that even up in Kingsland can't get enough staff to man their operations, and service has slipped. And I'm not indicting them, I'm just saying it's a fact. You have to wait a long time in a takeout line now. That creates pent-up demand. It's an opportunity for us to capitalize on it. It allows these small businesses who are on the brink of disaster not to have to swallow the whole pill, and to be able to take small bites, $25 at a clip, and build from that. And I agree with Mr. Rassey's analysis of it. I'm not criticizing any other council members' thoughts on it. I just think that it won't hurt us. It's not going to be staff intensive. It's not apparently not really upsetting the brick and mortar guys here all that much, because, you know, if we get to be a destination for people to come and eat, everyone benefits from that. And for all of the other reasons Mr. Rassey pointed out, upcoming events. That's my 2 cents worth. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anybody else? So we've got some varied opinions. Where
I think we're all
are
saying
we?
the same thing. I don't think that anyone's saying anything different. I'm just saying that the point I was trying to make is that when we make this decision, we have to be thoughtful about how it's structured. And again, just to you want to obviously make sure that our business owners, that there's some flexibility, but we do have to keep in mind that this is for our City of St. Mary's businesses as well as businesses coming from outside, and we just have to make sure that we're balancing that. That's what I was trying to say. You know, I think it's great. We just have to make sure that it's structured properly.
And again, I feel the same way. First of all, I'm concerned about, we only have 3 vendors right now. Everything is easy to manage. But you know, if you got 20 or 30 vendors coming in the next couple of months, it could pose a lot of strain on the staff. And I just don't want to overly burden our staff, you know, to have these businesses come in and, you know, try out things for a few days and leave.
Well, one of the things we have done in the past, council, is put a temporary ordinance in place as opposed to making it universal. We could do something where we'll try this till the end of the year and then revisit it. If you think that might be good, because we're coming into the seasons. So I see, should be able to all of April. Yeah, we've got 9 months or 8 months probably of seasons to see how this works out. Is that part of the solution?
I think that would be an excellent idea there.
I do think
because then we can.
I think
agree.
I can agree with that 100%, Mayor.
Okay, then we would have data, and with the number of units and the costs and the income, and we can also, again, to Mr. Goodman's point, I think we can get feedback from our all of the vendors, be that mobile or brick and mortar, and then we can see for ourselves and judge whether or not we want to continue with the program. How's that?
That works.
All right, does someone want to make a motion with that caveat in there?
I
I'll
move
make
that
that motion. Go ahead, Lisa.
That's okay. You said it quicker. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You were more succinct, so we'll take that one.
Okay.
All right, so I have a motion to accept the proposal from Community Development for temporary sales solicitors mobile food services with a sunset of the end of the year to be revisited as to whether or not it continues. Have I got it right?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Any more? All right. Can I have a motion? Oh, I've got a motion from Mr. Jones, and I have a second.
Second.
That's Ms. James. Okay. All right. Any further discussion? I thought it was a good one. Thank you, everybody. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Clerk, that's unanimous. Thank you very much, Council.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Horton, we've got a report of the city manager.
Good evening, all, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. You should have received a draft of this in your email. Just as an update, in order to go to in-person meetings, I've been able to determine extension cables for the microphones will work, and that'll cost us around $250. We can put all 7 of you on the ground level on the floor, all even. And each one of you would have sneeze guards on either side of you and in front of you, 36 inches high. The sides will be 23 inches long, and the front one will be 36 inches across the front. Then the attorney and myself will be sitting up on the dais with Ms. Deborah Walker Reed. There will be one, with all 3 of us being 6 feet apart, there will be one chair designated for the chief of police or the sergeant of arms. And then that allows for 5 citizens in the chambers room. And that could be for first come, first serve kind of a situation. So we were moving ahead with that and everything else. And we even got it, we believe we've got it figured out where we could do WebEx associated with the actual council meetings, for people to call into, that sort of thing. We've gone that far to where we're at right now. Then on Wednesday or Thursday, the governor put out a new directive. I have spent the weekend digging through that, trying to peel it back and really understanding what it says, and I'm still working on it. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's real confusing. I think my mindset is still in the old document, and I'm trying to work through that right now. So, but it looks like he is loosening up some of his restrictions as far as distancing goes and gathering and things of that nature. So if I can, give me till the next council meeting and I'll be able to give you a definite answer in all the cases. I would still recommend going with the sneeze guards any way we go, just for your protection and the protection of the citizens as well. But that's just something for you to consider and think on and get back with me with what you think at this time. But that gives me time to dig through and get an attorney's opinion. GMA has put out under documents describing what the snippets, I guess you could say, of each document, but the one document that's missing is the one that has really kind of taken some of the restraints off. That is not in place yet, and they're still working through that. Okay, we're well underway with our budget preparations for fiscal year 2022. We've had our first review with department heads of their budgets. We'll be going back into them again. Once we get all the numbers in place, we had some personnel numbers that were missing, and hopefully the next council meeting, we'll be able to have a workshop on the salary study, which should be, they're putting the final touches on it right now as we speak. We're supposed to get it sometime this week. So we'll be able to meet and discuss that and be able to add that into our budget preparations as well.
Robbie, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Does that mean the budget workshops are in the beginning of May?
Hold one second. I've got the calendar right here.
Just so council can start circling.
Tentatively we're looking around the 20th and 21st for the budget workshops for y'all.
April.
Of April. That is correct. With the advertisement for the budget and the public hearings on May 16th, with May 17th being a public hearing, and June the 4th, a public hearing and budget approval, and June 30th through August 1st, preparing the budget award.
Okay.
That's the tentative schedule at this time.
Got it. Thank you.
The bid packages are being put together for the playground equipment at the Waterfront Park, which includes installation of that equipment. Also, the bid package for redoing the Tilden North Marsh Walk. We have purchased the materials. We're just looking for the labor cost on, or someone to do the labor as far as doing the rework of the Marsh Walk. That's coming out of your SPOS dollars, and hopefully we should be, within the next couple of months, we should wrap those up.
Robbie, again, I'm interrupting you too much here, but so are we augmenting the playground with new pieces? Or are we completely replacing everything, or what's the thinking?
We are replacing them. If you remember, a lot of that old equipment is wood, old 4x4s and stuff, and they're starting to splinter and create problems that way. And so we're going, and what metal is there has rusted, and we've got some problems there. So we're going to just completely replace what's there and go back with an all new set.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next one, Mr. Joey Kaysen with Camden PSA and I have met and discussed several options regarding the old city pool. The city is currently getting some additional pricing for repairs to validate the numbers presented by Mr. Kaysen. Both attorney parties, ours and the PSA attorney, are working closely to try and figure out who exactly owns what and how that process goes. We're still missing some documents that we're trying to find, and so they're coming back with that. We hope to have a work session at one of the upcoming meetings, council meetings, to discuss that and see where you stand on it and where we need to go. However, the pool will not be opening this season. Again, the pool will not be opening this season. It's not safe. We're not getting the turnover in the water that's required by the health department. We were able to get the cameras, the city's camera in to look at the piping, and what used to be 2-inch piping is about the size of my little finger. It's 70 years old. So, or Mr. Goodman can almost give you the date that he played in it as a small child. I wasn't going to say anything, Mr. Goodman. But we are working on it, and we are talking a couple times a week on it and trying to figure out and working together. So I wanted to let y'all know that that is not a dead subject whatsoever. We are talking about it, and we should be prepared to come to you very soon with some ideas to see where you stand on it. That being said, Mr. Morrow met with Ms. Westbury, Ms. Kay Westbury, and an engineer on Thursday regarding the cemetery drainage situation. And we'll be meeting with 2 more tomorrow morning. And Ms. Westbury will also be there for that. So that concludes my report for this evening.
All right. Now, Mr. Hughes, are you involved in those meetings?
Which meeting, sir?
On the cemetery. We talked about him.
No, sir. No, sir, he's not.
Okay. All right. We're just curious. All right. Any more questions from the city manager?
Yeah, this Riley, I'd like to just ask one quick question, and it has to do with the leaf pick or the yard waste pickup throughout the city. There's been a huge number of complaints regarding that. And all you have to do is drive around the city, and you can see they're justified. And we were going to have a meeting last week, I know, and we didn't do that. But I'd like to request that the city manager take a look at some alternative solutions to that and try to get back to us as quick as he can so that we can take care of the mess that Waste Management's creating for us out in the city with respect to the yard waste. And, the citizens paid for this and they deserve it, and we owe it to them. So
yes, yes, sir. If I may, Mr. Mayor, I can respond to that initial. We are bombarded right now currently We've got 93 this was as of last week, 93 yard waste, yard debris, complaints that are out there. And actually, no, we've got more than that. I'm sorry. I told you wrong. We have a total of 133 yard debris complaints that are out there. We are working with them. The reason we didn't have the meeting is their whole, I guess, administrative staff, with the exception of one lady, is out with COVID. But what we're doing as a city is we're going to be putting one of our city crews out on the weekends to try and help them get caught up on that situation. If you'll remember last year at the same time, did the same thing. So we're going to be doing that again. Somebody needs to mute, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, any updates you can give us on that, Rob, as you make progress, we'd appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
we will. We're looking at alternatives there as well, but for right now, that's going to be our immediate response to the situation. And we are going to have that meeting with Waste Management. It's probably going to be next week. We're not sure though, depending on when they get back into the office.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. We're moving into granting audience to the public. Do you have someone?
Yes, sir. We had Miss Sarah Simmons on the line. She has emailed me. She has dropped off the line. She wanted to speak regarding the food truck part, but she did state she no longer needed to speak.
Okay. All right. Well, tell her thank you very much for her interest, though. So that
Yes,
sends
sir.
us right back to you for the city calendar.
Yes, sir. Coming in today from the Development Authority of St. Mary's, they are revising their time and location of their meeting for this week. The DASM meeting has been relocated to the Ward Hernandez building due to COVID-19 pandemic social distancing requirements. They also will have that meeting at 4:30 p.m. Again, that's 4:30 p.m. this week for DASM at the Ward Hernandez building on Thursday, April 8th. Also came in today at 9:30 a.m. The Orange Hall Management Committee has canceled their meeting this week in council chambers. We also have the April 8th, 5 o'clock p.m. St. Mary's Intercoastal Gateway meeting in the Main Street office. And we have the 5 o'clock p.m. Hospital Authority meeting in council chambers on Thursday, April 8th as well. On Friday, April 9th at 9 o'clock a.m. in council chambers, we have St. Mary's Municipal Court. On Monday, April 12th at 8:30 a.m. in the Main Street office, we have the Downtown Development Authority meeting. On Tuesday, April 13th at 6 o'clock p.m. in the Main Street office, we have the Stormwater Enterprise Study Working Committee. On Thursday, April 15th at 2 o'clock, we have an invitation to bid for the St. Mary's Intercoastal Gateway Marina project, and that invitation to bid will be held in council chambers. On Friday, April 16th at 9 o'clock a.m. in council chambers, St. Mary's Municipal Court. And then on Monday, April 19th at 6 o'clock p.m. via video conference, St. Mary's City Council meeting.
All right.
One correction, the Intercoastal Gateway
Yes,
meeting
sir.
will be held in the Visitor Center, not the
The
Main
Visitor
Street,
Center? Okay.
for
all right.
distancing purposes.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Horton, I don't know if you know, does Mr. Marr or have you had any sense of the Gateway Marina project, the interest in responding? Have you got any sense?
So I have had one contact that told me that they were applying or making a bid. And I think I know one other, I think, but we know nothing definite right now at this point and won't until the opening of the bid.
Yeah, well, I think many of you know that this whole the community of builders and contractors and everything, and the cost of materials is really very different right now than it has been. And I'm hearing, and you can see for yourself when you go into some of the Lowe's and Home Depots and everything, just the cost of some of the fundamental stuff you buy is pretty steep right now. So I'm curious to see what the Marine community has to do trying to deal with that too. So, all right. Thank you. All right. So at this point, I think we can start with council comments, and Mr. Jones, why don't we start with you?
Nothing, Mayor. I just wanted to let everybody, wish everybody a happy after Easter and commend our staff for the job that they've been doing in the past. I've got nothing but raving reviews from everybody, even Robbie. Keep up the good work.
All right. Mr. Goodman.
Already, when you and Jim Gant wearing matching shirts is priceless this evening. It's just great. Just want to continue upholding the city staff the way that they are performing. It's just excellent work. I am pleased to hear, Mr. Horton, that we're continuing to look into the possibility of getting back together in person. It's been no secret that I've been one of the main persons who's not been able to meet because of some underlying health conditions, but I'm happy to report that I've gotten my rabies shot, so y'all are all safe from me now, and I'm feeling very confident about the Johnson & Johnson protection, and I think you'll do the right thing, and it's going to be good to get back together and look at each other when we're fussing at each other. And it's a beautiful spring. It, to me, portends a good season for us this year, and I think we're making the right moves with the food trucks, and we're going to see some interest in that. And thank you for the discussion on that. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gant.
Well, I am so pleased that Mr. Goodman saw the purple on Artie and myself. We're from a long line of royalty, and so we have to wear the purple. That's all I have.
Mr. Riley, please start right away here, will you?
You're at a loss for words.
Yeah, pick it up.
I would believe that. At any rate, I just want to say a couple words. This past week with regarding the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program, I think I've discussed it. We were not one of the awardees for that grant. We had our debrief last Friday and Thursday or Friday, whatever day it was. And the debrief went well. There were 5 awardees in our category, and we were number 7. So you can see how close we came. But in this case, close is not good enough, and we don't have the money. But during the debrief, we identified some areas where we can improve our application and hopefully garner some more points. But the points that we made with him is with the debriefer is that we're there to stay until we get the award. So hopefully that'll convince him to look at us a little closer with a little bit more sympathy, if you will, or at least recognize the great work that our team did in putting that application together. And hopefully next year that will result in the northern 4 miles of the Tabby Trail being complete, and we'll have a great path for not only the people in the north end of the county, but also one that takes them up to visitors and citizens alike up to Crooked River from the southern reaches. And the other thing is just quickly on the stormwater utility, we are getting close to starting the education phase. That'll probably start somewhere around the 1st of May and run for about a month. And we hope to have our recommendation to council by the end of June, first part of July. So you can start thinking about that. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please offer them. The education phase will include a video. It runs for about 10 minutes. It'll be on several different social platforms. Obviously, we're not getting together in person because of the distance and COVID restrictions. We'll be sending out the same information by both newspaper and water bill that we did last year, so that people will have an opportunity to see that and they'll know where to go to direct their questions. And we look forward to receiving those questions and being able to respond with some answers that'll help all understand the importance of the utility. At any rate, we'll make the recommendations. The council will probably do a work session first and then do a council meeting after that. So subject to questions, that completes my comments, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Mr. Rassi.
Yeah, I just want to again remind everyone on the council. I shared it earlier during the food truck fees and all that. That we have an outdoor event at the amphitheater for the Camden County High School Chorus and Band Program on Saturday, May 8th. And so we would like to encourage the community to come and support. This is a major fundraiser for the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Our concert course and our band are going to Hawaii to participate in this event, and this is a fundraiser to help every student be able to reach their goal of being able to go to Hawaii on December 4th through December 9th, with them playing on December 7th. So I just want to encourage everyone in the city to make an effort to go down if you can on May 8th to support our young people in our community. And then the other thing, hopefully by the next council meeting, we'll have hopefully have a decision on the Independence Day Festival. As Robbie shared earlier in his manager's report, we're just making sure that we're doing everything right, and we just want to make sure we have a safe festival. Tentatively, the Kiwanis is ready for it, but we want to work with the city manager as a Kiwanis club to support this effort and to keep it as safe as we can for our community. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. James.
Thank you. Don't have much. I just also wanted to recognize our city employees for all the great work they do. And particularly, I'd like to recognize our finance department. Just, I don't know how to help everybody that isn't in finance to understand just how important that last audit was. And I didn't recognize them at that time, but you have to understand the level of work that goes into what they produce each and every year and every single meeting. So I just want to recognize Jennifer and her team there, specifically along with the other citizens. I also want to announce that there's a Main Street Now conference on April 13th. And they have free professional development for small business owners. That's a free day. And if anyone's interested, they can reach out to me and I'll be happy to send them the information. It typically costs about $150 for that day of professional development. And it's for all of our small business owners that are here in St. Mary's, and I could help connect them with that. Other than that, I'm not wearing a purple shirt. And I'm not telling any jokes tonight, but I think it's been a good time. And I'm looking forward to seeing this food truck endeavor be successful. That's it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right. I want to thank a good, productive the give and take and dialogue, and very, very appreciative. And just remind some of the sports fans out there, college basketball has a significant event tonight. I think it's 9:15, but some of us might be watching it for a while, see if we stay up that late. But anyhow, it's a classic story of great teams being persevering to the end, and you can't ask for anything other than that. Just great basketball. So thanks everyone. And if there's no executive session, so I'd like a motion for adjournment.
So moved,
Mayor.
Mr. Rassi, and I have a second from
Art
Mr.
Jones.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And
Aye.
opposed? And abstain? And my thanks to Ms. Sicoli, Mr. Hughes, Ms. Brown, the coach, and everyone that helped us, and Ms. Simmons, even though she wasn't able to participate. But thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy.
Go
Go Baylor.
Bulldogs.
Go Baylor.
Go Bulldogs.
Ooh, oh, good night.
Go Baylor.
Good night.
Deborah, do you have to have a vote?
Go Baylor.
I thought the mayor did a